What the heck is up with my machine? Why is it skipping stitches? Or why is there all kinds of thread everywhere? Today, I'm going to teach you 6 troubleshooting steps that you can take with your Brother sewing machine. Welcome to another episode of Sewing with Stacy. I'm Stacy, and today I'm going to teach you these 6 troubleshooting tips to help make your machine run better when it seems to be all going wrong. Today I'm going to be teaching you on your Brother Strong and Tough machine. It's a ST371HD. First things first. If you're getting a whole bunch of loops on your project on either side, it usually has to do with the thread. Your first basic, easy step to take to troubleshoot your machine is to unthread your upper thread and start over again. If you want tips on how to thread your machine, check out my other video. Now, once you've rethreaded it, try sewing again. If it still is giving you problems, your next step would be to unthread your bobbin. Take it completely out of the bobbin housing, set it back, and thread it back up, and try sewing again. Hopefully by now, that should take care of your problem. 90% of the time when you are getting issues with your thread, it's simply because you have threaded your machine improperly, or maybe you just hit a bad patch of thread and need to rethread everything altogether. If you've rethreaded both your upper and your lower and you're still having issues, check your bobbin itself. Sometimes your bobbin winder didn't wind your bobbin properly and it's either too loose or it's sloppy or sometimes it's even too tight. You might need to rewind a bobbin and put that back into your machine. If you've rethreaded everything, you've checked your bobbin, all of that looks good, check your needle. How long has it been since you've changed your needle? Never? Maybe it's time to change that up. Over time, just like everything else, a needle is metal and it will dull down. You need to replace your needle every so often so that it continues to properly cut through the fabric. Or, even if you don't need a needle replacement, check to make sure that you're using the proper needle for the fabric that you're using. A standard needle will work with a jersey, but you really should be using a ballpoint needle. Part of changing your needle might even be that it's bent. Maybe you hit a pin while you were sewing and you tried to squeak through it, but it may have damaged that needle just enough that it's causing your stitches to flow improperly. So check that needle, change it out, or even change the style. That could help fix your problem. Troubleshooting tip number 5. If you've changed your thread, checked your needle, checked your bobbin, now you need to check your tension wheel. Sometimes when you change your bobbins, especially if you're changing the style of bobbin that you're using, which I don't recommend, pick either plastic or metal and stick with it, the tension may change with the style of bobbin you're using, or it may change with the style of fabric that you're using. So check your tension. You may need to adjust it up for a higher tension or down for a lower tension. Troubleshooting tip number 6. When all else fails, kind of like a computer, the last step you can take is to simply shut off your machine. This is especially kind of helpful if you have a digital machine. Now today, as I said, I'm using my Brother Strong and Tough, which is not a digital machine, and I'll tell you what to do in just a second. But with digital machines, it's a computer. Sometimes you need to just shut that off, let it sit, and turn it back on. With our Brother Strong and Tough machine, which is not digital, I would suggest that you try changing the stitch selection with the stitch selection dial on the side. You may not have even realized that when you changed stitches previously, you didn't change it all the way, and you're actually kind of stuck between two. So, change that back and forth to whatever you need it to be to make sure that it's properly on the stitch that you need. All right, that's my 6 handy tips for troubleshooting your sewing machine to get your stitches back on track. Remember, it's rethread your upper, rethread your bobbin, check and or rewind your bobbin, check your needles, check your tension, and then finally either shut down your machine or change your stitch setting. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful to get your project back on track. Drop it in the comments if it did, and even if it didn't, leave your questions below and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. And as always, if you'd like links to any of my tools or fabrics, you'll find that in the description. I'm Stacy, and I'll see you between the seams. Okay, troubleshooting number tip